All right, hi everybody, and welcome back to the RnRGzrs show, episode 25. I'm your host Murph, and we got to say hello to everybody out there, and hope you had a great week. It's been a great weather one here. We got a lot of rock news to talk about, and oh boy, probably delve into that legendary, tragic situation called the Fyre Festival after that. But first, my co-host, the man who fell in the poppies, heading to the Emerald City. That would be Doc Box. What's happening, Doc?
Doing quite well, man. It's been quite a week, man. Yeah,
As usual.
but none the
Our,
little
our,
rock and roll can't take care of. So
sure, our favorite rock stars are never disappointing, and they just keep on going. It's amazing.
yeah.
They,
Before
they,
we get going though, don't forget all the good YouTube stuff.
sure.
Subscribe, like, notifications, comments. Love to get the little, community feeling going here and getting some comments and
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We're trying to expand on all the platforms. So go for it. Hear us on Spotify and all the other podcast sites, as well as, of course, YouTube and Rumble. So we're good to go in that situation. So let's get this ball rolling,
let's
baby.
do it.
Heck yeah. Of course, the one, the only. You got to hate him. You got to love him. Yeah. Our legendary Tommy Lee, a drummer of Motley Crue. Well, he's in the news again. He just can't keep his mouth shut and can't keep his pants zipped. It seems to me. Good grief, he's complaining. He said, the world is too soft because somebody complained about him whipping out the old tallywhacker at a concert, and the guy who did doesn't have any kids there or anything, but he saw 9-year-olds and whatnot, and probably young kids there, and he just thought it was inappropriate. I don't know. What do you think, man? Do they should they be bringing their kids to a Motley Crue concert or what?
A Motley Crue concert may not be the most appropriate, place for an 8, 9-year-old kid to be, but at the same time, you know what? Say you're a guy, Motley Crue's your favorite band. Mm-hmm. This is the last time they're going to come around. You want to share this experience with your kid. You can't wait till they're 13 or 15 or whatever. This is the last time. So you take your kid to the show and, exposed, to all these schwanzes up on the big screen.
Yes, all the twig and berries. Although I would imagine you wouldn't call him a twig. He would probably be more appropriately labeled as a branch.
Yes.
A branch and
a log
berries.
One out, yes. But apparently the guy Juan Alvarez, this guy went to the show. I think last week we touched on it, but the story had just come out, and I was under the assumption that he had kids there, but he didn't. He just saw other kids there and was concerned. But he said it was like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh boy! Wow.
At the same time, who wants to see all these? And Tommy, he gets up there and says, I already showed you mine. Now let's see yours. There's sound logic. Yeah, okay, sure.
And Juan says minors and everyone was forced to see people nude on the big screen, and everyone was doing it around us too. So if you got a kid, that's sort of obscene, I must say.
He's kind of, hey, see your wing on a 60-foot screen, which.
Oh man! Oh boy! What a train wreck!
That may be a marketing ploy, actually, and kind of get the perv market to come to the shows.
Well,
guys that just want to whip it out and have it on the big screen. But
he'll be feeding us news for years to come, because I saw an article recently with Nikki Sixx, saying, basically we're never going to stop. We've already got 140 dates next year, and blah blah blah, and in 2024, blah blah blah. So holy cow, what a scam that ending tour was.
Well, it's funny too if you look at some of these stories on the internet or on the social media, and then read some of the comments, and you get the Crue fans like, giving it to the parents. It's like, no, Motley Crue fans are parents at this point. There's not, it's not, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
some people need to get out of 1985, I guess. But
they're going to be go on forever because they're obviously packing the house, and they're no doubt making money hand over fist. So they'll yeah,
yeah, there'll always be a draw. But I don't know.
yeah, absolutely. Man, oh man, oh man. Of course, good old Ozzy's in the news again. He always is. This time, yeah, he's he put out a documentary on the recording of his album, Patient Nine, I believe. Right, yeah.
Patient number 9.
Patient number 9, and he's going all out. You were talking about this. I wasn't really figuring it out, but you said basically, yeah, lay it on me, like you told me.
Yeah, it's just the media blitz. I mean, I can't recall seeing anything like this in recent memory. Really, just doing the halftime shows and all the interviews he's doing left and right, and as on our social media feed, there's constantly stories about him, and so now he's got this. It's a 3-part series, the making of the album. So as we all know, he had tons of guest stars on it, including Taylor Hawkins was on it, and Jeff Beck and Clapton and all these people that we talked about. But
Bass player Metallica,
yeah,
Robert
Trujillo was on it, yeah,
Chad Smith, yeah, Duck McKagan,
yep.
Mike
So
McCready
tons of
from
people.
Pearl
So
Jam.
I kind of touched on this on a previous episode. Listening to interviews with Ozzy over the years, he's always kind of talked about he still hasn't made his Sergeant Pepper's.
Yeah. There you go.
And I kind of get the feeling that this is his, version of that. That this is his. The songs I've heard, I don't know, 3 or 4 songs off the album, and they all sound great. They sound great, man. So I believe this is his push to have his Sergeant Pepper's, I guess, and
yeah.
or at least as close as he can come to it.
I think their Sergeant Pepper's. Yeah, I think Paranoid, the album, could be considered their Sergeant Pepper's, quite honestly.
Well, I mean, so as a solo artist, but
right, yeah. That's the niche right there.
So yeah, just huge media blitz, man. It's just everywhere you turn. I mean, Ozzy's kind of always in the news anyway, but now he's moving back to the UK, and he's got the reality show going over there, and it's just
boy.
Oh my gosh. So
yeah. I saw Sharon on TV talking about the Queen and whatnot. God save the Queen. Hey.
Yeah, and as we've talked about in previous episodes too, where he just can't, seem to want to get off a stage, and
yeah,
hopefully not to his detriment. And we have our concerns, obviously, but we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, he's still hanging in there. It's amazing, with his back troubles and whatnot, and
Parkinson's.
He's got Parkinson's, yeah. So Jiminy Creepers, if he's going to keep going, more power to him, because who am I to complain? And again, another one of the guys we like to complain about, but he's a mega millionaire, and that'd be Gene Simmons. So of course, right there he is, Gene. He just, he doesn't drink. I believe. I don't believe he drinks at all.
No.
And yet here he goes now. He's come out with a brand of vodka from the lovely shores of Monroe, Wisconsin. I don't know if there's any shores up there, but whatever. It's the land of sky blue waters, my friend.
There you go.
Land of sky blue waters. So, yeah, Gene must have. He's taking a hint from Sammy and Ryan. Who's the actor? The green Ryan. What's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. He had he was selling. He had a booze factory that he sold for a boatload of money. So, speaking of boatload of
tons
money,
of rocks. I mean, we just talked about this. And he's up in Monroe, Wisconsin. By the way, I want to give a shout out. We got this story through a Facebook friend of mine, Lisa McNett. So cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa.
But talking about the money bag brand, where he's where I kind of explained last week, where he has the rights to that image, and he's just pushing it on whatever he can get it on, and now it's vodka, and much to my surprise, I kind of spoke to it. Just it's so funny. This just comes up just as we were talking about it last week, and where he had the money bag soda. And I kind of assumed since he didn't drink that was kind of his avenue into the beverage market. But now he's coming out with vodka, and he's made a statement. I don't know, you may have it there, but where he's kind of a nice beverage for adults, and he's never had.
Well, here's what he says.
Yeah.
Whether it's for family, friends, or 20,000 fans at a concert, I've always wanted to create a versatile and approachable drink that encourages everyone to celebrate life and its good time. There you go, man. Hang on. Thankfully, thankfully, we found the perfect partner in Minhas Distillery, the country's second oldest brewery and distillery, with whom we spent months developing the money bag recipe and designing a distinctive, eye-catching bottle. How the hell you don't even drink, Gene? What the jeez. Yeah. So he probably didn't even taste it. It's like just slap a money bags thing on
Oh
it.
yeah,
We'll make
absolutely,
a
absolutely.
boatload of money and
Yeah, he's
oh
explained
boy.
before the reason he doesn't drink. His you may know his mother was a Holocaust survivor,
Mm-hmm.
and he just he's a mama's boy to the nth degree, man. He's just all about his mom, and
There
he
you
just
go.
always said that he would never do anything to hurt that woman. So no drugs, no alcohol. So,
Uh,
but yeah,
a little more here. Simmons designed a bottle himself, a 70 milliliter glass money bag shaped decanter. There you go, Doc. It contains vodka that has a dry, lingering finish, a peppery snap, and light impressions. Here we go of vanilla and orange. It is made with 100% gluten-free ingredients. You know, what's up with the gluten? When I order a pizza, I order extra gluten. Come on, people. What's up
right.
with that, man? Geez, so there you go, Gene. What a he's a money machine. So, some guys are just musicians, but some guys are basically businessmen who became musicians, and it sure seems like Gene's that. He really knows how to pull in the dineros. I'll tell you what, man.
If there's a dollar to be found, he will sniff it out, man. He's yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
always thought that the kiss coffin, that was the ultimate in ridiculousness, the
Yeah.
kiss coffin, what the heck? But
And the condoms are a close second. Yeah.
oh,
The
geez,
kiss condoms.
yeah, they were probably had a pinhole in them too, just in following with the carefree ways. But, oh yeah. Oh, speaking of great guys, Bruce Dickinson is going on a new tour, man. This cat's he's really something. There he is right there. Hey, Bruce. Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson announces the January 2023 European Spoken Word tour dates. And he was here in Chicago last year, I believe, or may have even been earlier this year with a spoken word tour. And, many people may just know him as the lead singer of Iron Maiden, but boy, oh boy, you're missing a lot if that's all you've heard. How about a little info on him, Doc?
Yeah, yeah, he's quite a renaissance man. He's, as we talked about before, we've mentioned he's a pilot, and he actually flies the band around and everything. He's into some aviational entrepreneurship things. I'm not exactly sure what that consists of, but he's got a brewery. He's a beer brewer.
There we go.
Like I said, motivational speaker. He's a script writer. He's a novelist, and he's in fencing. I don't think he's
Yeah.
like quite like Olympic level, but from what I understand, he's like really, really good at fencing. And you kind of see some of those moves kind of on stage where he kind of incorporates that
I'm
a
not.
little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But
I saw him way
and
back
then
when.
so I guess he's done some TV commentating on that, some sports commentating on that. He's done radio and TV. I mean, you name it. This guy's just
He's
you know,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's like his lead singing is just one small part of his vast resume, but
yeah.
he's something else. I think they're coming in Chicago later on, maybe this winter. That's possible. I thought I saw that somewhere. We'll have to
Okay,
check
yeah,
that
I've
out.
been in it.
But yeah, he's really
Yeah,
something,
he recovered from throat cancer as well. I don't know if
and
everybody knows
that's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like from what I understand, like almost like a golf ball sized tumor,
Oh boy,
which I can't imagine. It'd be like in your goozle there somewhere. I don't know,
the
but
goozle is. Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
that was
Yeah.
just like I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that. But
Wow.
yeah, he seems to have fully recovered from that. So yeah, Bruce Dickinson's quite a guy, man.
Yeah, he's a legend for sure. And speaking of legends, Jiminy Creepers, Journey, good old Journey. There they are. Oh yeah, there that the picture I'm showing, and actually Neil Sean sort of looks like somebody's aunt or something. He's looking old, but they're cranking. They're gonna make some money. Yeah, he's
Yeah, they just came off of a tour with Toto, and I guess they're gonna go back out. They have not a ton, but there's like 40 gigs. I think they said they have lined up over the next couple of years. So
40 shows with Toto again. They're gonna have Toto back them up again.
So I guess they're gonna hit some of the spots that they missed this last time around, and then they're gonna head over to Europe, where over in Europe Toto is the headliner.
Hold on. Wait.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Toto is much more popular.
Wow, I'll be darned.
Yeah, apparently they toured over there a lot back in the day and just kind of really built a good big fan base.
Pounding that Africa song into the people.
Yeah, there you go.
Basically, that's what happened. But yeah, Journey. I
can see it. Journey's kind of more of an American sound. I kind of see it a little bit. But
yeah.
And then they're talking about going into South America, which seems to be a lot of bands are doing lately. I mean, they always have, but I mean, it seems to be even more so here recently.
They have to catch up, yeah. But all these, like you say, all these bands have been chomping at the bit for too long.
And I guess he's Neil Sean's hoping to get Santana to jump on the tour at some point. As you may know, the Journey's kind of an offshoot of Santana. Neil played with Santana back, before Journey with
Greg Rowley.
Greg Rowley, and they split off and formed Journey. So just as it's the band's 50th anniversary, and is a kind of tie it all together, I guess. Go out on the road with Santana. So
and their songs are going to be around forever. They just are,
true that.
Yeah, good riddance. But hey, it is what it is. Good for them. They're making money hand over fist, just like all the rest of them.
All these bands they're going out there and they haven't done anything creatively in decades, and they're making tenfold what they used to make, but when they were in their heyday,
Yeah.
It's just the way the market is. Like I said, now their fans have money and time, and go out and see them in droves and pay the money for it,
and what they want to hear the songs that they grew up with, that they come of age with. So it's right up their alley. A lot of these groups come out with new records and people basically groan. Oh no!
I'm sure there's
some new songs.
Time to go to the bathroom. Yeah. I'm sure there's some hardcore fans that always want to hear the new stuff, but
I
say you just want to hear the songs, and sometimes to the point we were talking about this next story. Where it's just
here they are. Oh jeez, Foreigner, the cover band, the cover band formerly known as Foreigner. Right? That's a good name for them, and yeah. But they're Jeff Pilson, the bassist, great musician. They played well, but they
formerly played bass with.
You got me again, Doc. Lay it on.
Rhymes with rockin'.
Dockin?
No Dockin. Yeah. Jeff Pilson was he was the bass player with Dockin. And you remember when we saw him earlier this summer, he was kind of a multi-instrumentalist. He was playing bass and keyboards, and he was kind of jumping around a little bit. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
But in any case, he was asked if there's been any talk about the band calling it quits because let's face it, when we saw them, there were no original members. It was a cover band, and they're really not talking about it at this point. I wouldn't either. Let's face it, they're making a ton of money in front of big crowds. Even if they ain't the real band, hey, what are they gonna do if they disband? Poof, no more big crowds. Back to the clubs and all.
I suppose as long as there's an audience, they'll be out there. But if you saw our review of the show, we were quite disappointed.
Let me see what he says. To answer your question, I would say we haven't really. That's something we're not really talking about at this point. We're kind of firing on all cylinders, so let's just keep rocking. Ha ha ha! Our body parts seem to be holding together. So yeah, let's keep playing. So yeah, they're not going to give up. Well, the money's coming in. Even if they're an opening act, I'm sure they're making a decent amount of money and contributing to the
absolutely,
Social Security
absolutely.
Fund. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and they've said that Mick Jones is the only member that regularly plays with them. That's a loose using of the word regularly. I don't think it's
Yeah.
you
We
know
didn't see him.
once in a blue moon, and that's at encore time. It's no. There's probably like when they play in his hometown. Man, I can't imagine him touring around, traveling around with them. But
Encore time like Judas Priest with what's his name? Not KK, the other guitarist who has Parkinson. They'll
Glenn,
bring
yeah,
him out
Glenn
for last
Tippin,
Glenn
yeah.
Tim. Yeah, they'll bring him out for a couple of shows. But nonetheless,
But yeah, kind of the rock stars always have some. They're the best at trying to rationalize why they do stuff and trying to explain it to the fans. But Pilsen goes on to say, this music is so strong it can be delivered by by somebody that's not the original band. What the hell does that mean? What the hell?
Yeah, what? Yeah. What? Oh gosh, this music, yeah, it's so strong. It's been delivered by any band in any local club in the Chicagoland area. Thank
Exactly.
you. Boom.
It's just like all the Zeppelin cover. You talk about strong catalog of material. All the Zeppelin cover bands. Okay, now they're going to start calling themselves Led Zeppelin. No.
Yeah. Oh, he even goes on. Let me do it in my British accent.
Do it.
I mean, listen, we deliver a really strong set. We are fans. We love the music. We love doing the best job we possibly can. So even when it's not the original band, it's done with the authority and the belief that you need to deliver it. And and I think that's true with a lot of bands. I mean, Arnel Pineda, Journey singer, is fabulous. Right. He's a fabulous singer. What the hell is he trying to pawn off the Journey singer? Oh, here we go. Hang on, I'm not done yet. More British. I think when you're respecting the music, doing it the way that people want to hear it, and doing it with that high energy performance, you can't go wrong. And I think that bands like Journey, like us, like Styx, Ariel Speedwagon, we're doing our best to deliver really quality music, and people seem to be responding massively. So yeah, they ain't gonna give up. The only difference is Journey, Styx, Ariel have multiple original members playing with them. And these guys are
Journey's got obviously Neil Schon, Jonathan Cain, and I believe Ross Valerie is still playing with them. So at least three original members. So
yeah. So they're Journey. They're boy, wow, and their music is just so good. Jeez. But yeah, let me see. Yes, Lou Gramm, the original singer for Foreigner, he split in 2002 because he was battling health issues. So he's been out of there for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
he pops up every once in a while. He'll do something, but yeah.
And Jones, the only remaining original member of Foreigner, suffered from some health issues beginning in 2011. Yeah. And then in 2012, he had heart surgery. Hey, join the club, pal. So yeah, but they're just a cover band without at least one original member. So they're gonna keep rocking. We'll probably
trying to justify their existence at this point, basically.
We'll probably see them next year.
Well, you know what? When you're in a band and you start getting asked, "Is it time to hang it up?" Maybe it's time to hang it up.
Yeah, but, I would have to say, but
all right, moving on.
They're gonna keep going. Yeah. Oh, did I? Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
So we have another one where it's kind of the same kind of situation, cover band, almost one original member, but Rainbow. You may remember Rainbow back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. So apparently back in 2016, he got a hold of Joe Lynn Turner, who had a stint.
There he is. Wait, time out. Wait a while, that's not Joe Lynn Turner. That's Ming the Merciless. Hang on a minute here. Let me get the right one.
Honest mistake.
Oh, okay. There he is.
There he is. Okay, like honest mistake. Yeah.
Anyway,
but so apparently in 2016, Richie got a hold of Joe Lynn and said he was going to do a Rainbow Extravaganza and have all the past members. We're going to go out on tour.
Okay.
Which is that's a lot of people, man. You know, well, obviously Dio's gone, but then you had Joe Lynn Turner. I think you had Graham Bonnet was in there for a couple of years, and they've had a couple of guys. And Tony Carey, people may not remember, he played keyboards with them for a while. People remember Tony Carey from Planet P Project, but nonetheless, I'm going off on a bit. So anyway, he gets a hold of him, says he wants to go out on this extravaganza, and then it just kind of goes away. And next thing you know, he's got all new bands, all new guys. So Joe Lynn's saying it's a cheap imitation. You know, he's obviously, you know, he's got his ass on his shoulders about a little bit, and it's a cheap imitation. So now the current singer, a guy named Ronnie Romero, you know, obviously he takes offense to that. Nothing I'm doing is cheap, and blah 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 blah. And I kind of commended him because recently Joe Lynn had been in the news for losing his wig.
Yeah, there he
so
is.
That's
right
there's the picture he has there. So
being merciless.
Yeah, I guess apparently he's suffered from alopecia, which you know, it's kind of been in the news, you know, a little bit with Will Smith's wife and whatnot. Yeah,
a disease where you have no hair, basically.
Yeah.
But no, he's been.
So, but since age 14, he's been wearing a wig. Yeah.
Wow. Far out. It'd be like a Joe Dirt wig or something, you know, something like that. That'd be cool.
Right. Sew it into a skull. But yeah, 71. Now he's 71 years old. He's lost the wig, and you know, I don't know. It seems like he could have lost the wig probably 20 years ago, probably. But
he could have done.
You know, granted, back in the 80s, that would have been probably a bold move, but nonetheless.
Well, some people just ditch the wig, folks. Ditch the hair coloring. Just let things roll. I know a few other musicians, fairly popular musicians that sport wigs. You know, and whatever. I guess, you know, they want to keep that youthful look or whatever when the jowls are sagging and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But Joe Lynn, you know, he's letting it all hang out.
As you've said in the past,
you know, well, I'm saying at this point with Joe Lynn Turner, like you say, he's what, 72, something like that.
71, I think. 71. I read,
yeah. I feel you, Joe, because at this age we don't give a crap anymore. We just don't. That's why I'm letting all my hair go. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. Joe Lynn don't care. Hey, go bald, you know. No, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
You know, if I can quote from Meatballs, I will. Yeah. Just doesn't matter. So good for him. Let it all hang out. Nobody
like you said in past episodes, just age gracefully, man. Just roll with it, and you know, we're all going through the same stuff. So
yeah. And speaking of something, you know, next up we got there the Sex Pistols. I don't understand this brief really. Seems like Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols, who I respect totally because he's taking care of a very sick wife, and I'm sure that's really trying on him. But he's it seems like he thinks the other band members, the remaining band members, are trying to cash in on the Queen's death with the song God Save the Queen. But I really don't see any of that. I think
it's kind of a non-story. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So Johnny Rotten's kind of saying, what's his quote here? I'm trying to distance myself from the bandmates cashing in on the Queen's death. And except they're not. And they've made statements that this is baffling. It's like nobody understands where this is coming from. But I think it's coming from people recently they had it's a series on Hulu. I think it was on FX maybe initially called Pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And they all had to, you know, vote on it. And Johnny Rotten had given it thumbs down. But there was a majority rule, so he was kind of outvoted. So he may be just kind of sour grapes, you know, still on that a little bit, but yeah, just a not story. It's like he's like coming out of it, you know.
God bless you, Johnny.
Is it his way to try to remind people that song was out there? You know, I kind of got to think, you know.
I don't know because I've seen references to that song all over the place since the Queens died.
Yeah,
what a killer song! What a totally punk killer song.
Oh yeah.
Fascist regime. She made no more on a potential H bomb. Yeah. Very, very cool song. But I don't know, Johnny. Just hang in there, man. He was respectful. I don't think the other two were as respectful to the Queen as he was upon her passing. He was very respectful to her. Let me see if I've got that here. Jeez. But yeah, he was, send her off triumphantly or something like that. So good for him. He's learned. He's not the punk he used to be. I'm sure he's still a pain in the ass, but shit, you learn. So I don't.
Yeah, I'm
I think
always up for a good Johnny Rotten, Johnny Lydon. I never know which one to call him. Johnny Lydon is what he goes by, but we all know him Johnny Rotten. But
yeah,
I'm always good up for a good Johnny Lydon interview if I come across one. And he has gained a lot of weight.
Oh yeah,
As of recently. So like I say, he's going through a lot of things with his wife, and apparently his own health issues now too. So
yeah.
but,
Well, hang in there, dude. Yeah,
and he's one of those guys. Sometimes I'll listen to him and I love him, and other times I'll listen to him and where's this guy? He's he's one of those guys. He's an enigma wrapped in a riddle.
Oh, true that. Oh, next story. You found this one. I found this really. I found this amazing, actually. There's top 10 most gigs done by a group. Right? Is that the premise? Right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they word it, but yeah, most concerts by a band, by an artist. Most concerts, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and
And just joining the top 10 club. Yeah, just joining the top 10 club. Our good buddies in Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick, there they are. I'll be darned. I would not have guessed that because there's so many. Alice Cooper's been going forever. There's a bunch of bands that Aerosmith going forever. Wow, that surprised me. Good for them, but boy.
Yeah, good old Cheap Trick's probably, I don't know, one of our mutually favorite bands, I suppose.
Yeah, we saw them earlier
and
this year.
Yeah, we saw them earlier this year, and so I looked into it. So they just made the top 10. So I'm wondering what are the top 10?
Yeah,
and this is not just rock bands. This is artists. So this is across the board.
Okay.
So number one, by far, the Beach Boys.
No kidding.
Beach Boys have done over 7,000 concerts. So by far,
wow.
Second, just over 6,000 concerts.
Wow.
B.B. King.
No kidding.
So yeah, they're going all genre. This is not just third at 4,500 plus, Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. Wow.
And then the fourth would be the next biggest, classic rock bands. And I totally get this. At 4,400 and rising, Blue Oyster Cult.
No kidding. BOC.
Those guys have been out. I swear I see those guys twice a year. So I don't personally go see them, but I see them playing around somewhere. I swear constantly. These guys are constantly playing, man.
One of the best concerts I've ever seen. One of the best concerts I've ever seen back in the late 70s. Me and a friend saw him at the International Amphitheater here in Chicago, and we were feeling good, let's just say that. And they had their laser light show. And this was a month before OSHA shut it down because it was so freaky. Because it'd come by us and we could actually
the 70s, gotta love it.
The laser ray would come by us and we could feel it. Whoa! Oh, but it was crazy good. But that was one of the best concerts I've seen. And then I saw them later on, and they're still good, but really they're in the list. That's surprising.
Yeah, they're the top number 4. Then again, some classic artists. And you got Johnny Cash is just under them.
All right.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Hot damn, baby.
4,000. Who I saw just 4 years ago or so. So I mean, he's in his 80s and still playing. So he's still racking them up.
Wow.
I don't know if he's still playing, but he was 82 when I saw him.
Eesh.
And just under him is Sinatra at 4,000. Then we get into the final 3, and we get back into classic rock acts at 3,900, and still out there finishing his last tour is Elton John.
Wow. I'll be darned.
And the next one is another act we saw over the summer, just a few behind Elton. They surpass him, is Santana.
No kidding. Well, I'm not surprised since
and then they're at 3,970. Elton John's at 3,984, and now Cheap Trick's at like 3,920. So
I'll be darned.
When I
Wow.
saw this and I wanted to look into the top 10, the one that I thought would be in there because he talks about he's done like 6,700 shows is Ted Nugent.
Hmm. I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure.
But I remember listening to an interview recently with him on Eddie Trunk, and he pretty much counts everything in that 6,700. It's like if he's sitting around the bonfire with a couple guys jamming, that counts as a performance, you know. But
no, that doesn't. But at the same time, he's been going since the late '60s, since the Young Boy Dukes. So I
yeah,
wouldn't surprise.
but
If
you're
he's
right.
just
Bands
got a
like Alice Cooper's
boatload.
been going for a while, but
Yeah.
there's been in that 40, 50 years, there's kind of been gaps. But with Cheap Tricks, there really hasn't really been any gaps. They just been
Wow.
keeping on. And like I said, especially with Blue Oyster Cult, man. Oh my gosh, those guys been out there forever.
Buck
But,
Dharma,
yeah. Interesting story. I thought it was fun looking into that one.
Eric,
that was interesting.
Eric
Bloom.
Eric Bloom. Thank you,
Yeah.
Doc. Jeez, man, I'm losing my shit here. All right, and then we got, of course, the one and only Kid Rock, for crying out loud. We talked about him recently. How, quite honestly, how disappointing we were about the concert in terms of, I don't know, just originality and
Yeah, I mean, we always knew we had issues with his musicianship and songwriting abilities and whatnot. But we thought I might be able to put on a decent show anyway. But we're kind of disappointed that way. But yeah, his songs are just so formulaic, and I know he's got a new album out that he was pushing when we saw him.
Yeah, he's got a new video out of the song called "Never Quit," and I gave it a listen, and it follows your format, Doc. It starts out with I, and there are many I's throughout. I do this, I do that, I, and so I thought, well, this is interesting. I should jump over to the comments, because I'm always interested to see what the people have to say about the comments. And well, there's a lot of good ones. A lot of people like this stuff, obviously. But then you got like this comment. I'm not watching the video for the same reason I don't go out of my way to step in dog shite. That's the kind of comment we're getting there. But geez, a lot of people still still liking it and hollering at the people that don't, basically. It's pretty funny. Here's another one. This is going to be so popular at weddings where the bride and the groom are cousins. Oh, Kid Rock, gosh. Rage for the Machine. Sell parody music for people who are living caricatures. That's
what? I love that one because that's exactly what he's become to me. I'm watching these videos and these songs. He's a parody of himself.
Yeah. Sell parody music for people who are living caricatures. That's crazy cool.
Yeah.
That's very good. And then we got, very underrated band up there with Metallica. Geez, people are out of their mind. Let's face it. They're just crazy and oh boy, it's just horrible. He never quits making bad music. Well, there you go. He might have crap politics, but you have to admit, song is a little catchy. Yeah, but it's a little catchy because he steals from people. I mean, Weird Al couldn't do a better job of parroting Kid Rock than Kid Rock does. That's a good one. Never quit, huh? I sure hope he doesn't take his own advice. Quit, kid, please. Oh, here's a good one. If Deliverance and Beverly Hills had a baby, it would be him. Oh, boy, that's the sad. It's just sad. Every time I see Kid Rock, I'm reminded to make sure my catalytic converters haven't been stolen. There's a lot of meanness out there, Doc. It's sad, and then there's, I'm usually a pretty headstrong, determined person, but this song is convincing me to quit at life. Wow. And then the next one, Kid Rock is straight up all American. God bless America.
In these politically divisive times, and he kind of takes a stance. So yeah, you can see the divisiveness in his comments. I mean, you see that.
Just crazy. Oh, Kid Rock, man. Oh man.
But so there's no confusion. Yeah, Kid Rock sucks, man.
Yeah. It's just he's a caricature. That's a real good
Yeah.
I got
He's
there. Yeah.
a parody of himself, man. Truly is.
Creepers. Okay, and we recall last week we were talking about Ozzy Osbourne, how he says, yeah, I'm gonna play till I die, and I mentioned
Yeah.
Gigi Allen. Well, let's expound a little bit, if you will, on
Yeah,
Gigi
let's.
Allen, just a little bit. Gigi Allen, born Jesus Christ Allen. I think therein lies the trouble, is the fact that his parents named him Jesus Christ Allen. What in the world were they thinking? Well, why not name him Adolf Hitler Allen? Not that they're anywhere the same, but I'm just saying, you don't name it. You don't. No. So he was trouble from the beginning, and too many creepers. His stage antics are legendary. There'll never be anybody like him. He was out of his mind, and right up to his death. The reason I tied him into Ozzy was because Ozzy says, "Oh, well, go up and die on stage." Blah, blah. Gigi Allen, he wanted to die on Valentine's Day on stage. That was his
Halloween.
or Halloween. I'm
Oh
sorry,
yeah.
Valentine's Day. Wow. Now Halloween on a die on Halloween on stage, and he really wanted to, but he never quite made it. But man, he was screwed up his whole freaking life, and thanks to his dad, right? I think his dad was a numbnuts in that situation.
Yeah. His dad was pretty whacked out. Born. There's several little mini documentaries, not several, but a couple mini documentaries on his upbringing. His dad was he's the one that named him Jesus Christ, and they grew up in a very remote area in New Hampshire, if I remember right. Like almost like a log cabin. It kind of almost reminded me kind of setting, and they were just kind of left to their own device. They were kind of this crazy dad, and so eventually the mom had enough and picked them all up. He had a little brother, right? I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And,
I can't remember his name, but
anyway, yeah. The mom scooped the two of those up and left in the middle of the night. And
that's where he got the Gigi. His little brother was so young he couldn't pronounce his name, so instead of Jesus, he named him Gigi.
Yeah,
called him Gigi, and he spent time in jail. Jesus, prison. In late '89, he was arrested and charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, of a female acquaintance. Wow. And it turns out that her story was so inconsistent that he ended up getting the hell out of there. But he admitted to cutting her, burning her, drinking her blood, and blah blah blah.
oh my gosh, yeah.
But there were substantial inconsistencies. But he plea bargained it down, and the guy was out of his freaking mind. Let's face it. He wanted to die on Halloween on stage, but sadly he didn't. He did a show at a small club called the Gas Station, a punk venue in Manhattan, and he got into 3 songs. After the 3rd song, everything hell broke out in the club. So
that was typical. Yeah, they'd be like 12-minute shows, man. They'd be like 17 minutes long or something.
So yeah, he went out walking around the streets and whatnot, and then eventually went to Johnny Puke's apartment. There you go, good old Johnny
Puke. Yeah.
Where's good old Johnny been?
You can always count on him.
Good old Johnny Puke. Yeah, and he ingested a whole bunch of heroin and overdosed and died. The next morning. So he was doomed. He was doomed for destruction. He's just one of them guys you just know. He's doomed for destruction. There's not a darn thing anybody can do about it. So
yeah, some of his stage antics, you kind of look into it. But a lot of defecation and slinging of said substance. Yeah, he's pretty disgusting.
Yep.
And he has some pretty cool band names though. I just
lay it on us. I know a couple of them, but
the Murder Junkies are to me, the Murder Junkies and the Toilet Rockers are probably the best known. But the Murder Junkies, for a very short time, Dee Dee Ramone was a member of the Murder Junkies. I need to look more into that. I know there's got to be a story behind that.
Oh man,
but,
got it.
Oh my, let's see some of the other ones he had. The Scum Fucks,
Ooh,
the Carolina Shit Kickers, the Texas Nazis,
oh man.
Bloody Mess and the Scabs,
Ah, cool.
the
Yeah.
Southern Baptists.
Bloody missing the scabs. Yeah.
So yeah, Bulge. So yeah,
Wow.
they
Yeah.
had a few of them,
The
but
trouble that sound, yeah, just the name of the band tell you there's trouble there. But and then at his funeral, this is great. I don't even think they embalmed or anything. It says here that at his funeral, his bloated corpse was dressed in his black leather jacket and his trademark jock strap. When I go out, that's the look I'm
there
hoping
you go.
for. Black
That's
leather
where you want.
jacket, and a jock strap. But he was one crazy son of a gun, just totally out of his mind. So
Yeah, like
wow.
there's like I said, part of the little mini documentaries. There's one where he was back in the day. Oh gosh, probably had to be the late '80s, early '90s when he was on Jenny Jones' show. If you remember that, it was like a talk show, kind of a
Jenny
Oprah
Jones.
style kind of talk
Sure,
show. And
sure.
he's kind of explaining himself and his theories and philosophies on life, and yeah, it's pretty interesting.
But
G.G.
hey,
Allen, yeah,
he's out of here. He's a legend. So there you
someone you
go.
should know. Yeah.
Yeah. How about it? Yeah. Okay. Well, phew, that's a lot of news there. But this week's topic, quite a few episodes ago, we mentioned the Fyre Festival, which was supposed to take place, and it didn't. Isn't that a beautiful
Oh, right. It suck you right in,
advertisement?
man.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
look at the blue waters, and it's just
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
stunningly
suck you right
beautiful.
in for sure.
It's gonna be
The,
so
the
good.
promotion and marketing was second to none. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, eh, here we go. It was supposed to be the cultural and musical event of the century, not just the decade. No, the century. But here we go. This is from Factinate. In reality, though, it was more like Lord of the Flies.
Oh,
Oh boy,
yeah.
thousands of moneyed millennials ended up stranded on an island with limited food, nowhere to sleep, and no music. And this, says what happens when a few planet-sized egos
Yeah.
get together to create a music festival without resources, common sense, or most importantly, the time to pull it
Yeah.
all off.
Yeah.
And they called it the Fyre Festival. And boy, did people get gypped on that one. And we'll put it like that way. It's just stunning how these people got away with it in this. But at the same time, I'm not surprised in the digital age. You know, uh,
In the age of influencers and social media and Instagram and trying to show like the FOMO, fear of missing out, that you were there, and
Yeah.
and people overlook that I don't think that this is possible. So
Yeah.
it kind of started off, and it just dawned on me too, Murph. We seem to like talking about failed festivals. We've done shows on Altamont and Woodstock '99 and
Yeah.
now the Fyre Festival. Hey,
Oh, we got that one in Indiana. We got to hit one of these days.
yeah.
But
And,
anyway,
yeah. So the Fyre Festival started off. Billy McFarland was the guy. He was the big guy behind it. You may remember Ja Rule, the rapper Ja Rule, was heavily associated with it, but I don't think he really had that much going on with it. I think he just was kind of the name that was kind of helping promote it, and
right.
I'm sure he had a little bit going on. You see him at the dinners and stuff on the documentaries. Some of the sources that we have for it, we saw that there was the Hulu documentary, there's a Netflix documentary, there's one on YouTube, and there's a couple other smaller ones. So there's a lot of info out there about this. But
yeah. Well, Billy McFarland, that he was the CEO of Fyre Media.
Yeah.
And what it was is Fyre was an app that people could use to book high-end talent for their events, and that's how his whole thing started. Was with this, trying to promote his app basically.
Right.
And boy, that and through that work with the Fyre Media is where he met Ja Rule, and yeah, he was just along for the ride. I don't think he had any clue how how ridiculous this situation was. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's Billy McFarland. He's been a scam artist from day one, man. They were talking about how he was scamming kids out of crayons and shit back in, but I guess one of his first somewhat big venture, I guess, was he had a credit card called Magnesis. And it was it was made of metal. It was a metal credit card. That was kind of the draw that, get the millennials hooked on it. And supposedly the people that had that card, they got tickets. They got they got access to things that other people wouldn't do. Access to certain tickets. And that there was a townhouse, a Manhattan townhouse that was like a hangout, which turned into like, if guys could have joined a frat, after college, that's what they would have done. Kind of frat party environment. So that was kind of his first adventure, and he did a lot of scamming then. Like he would say he could get these tickets, to go along with Magnesis, and then he would go into debt getting those, and then he would do another scam to make up for that, and just snowball. So he was just one of those guys that always thought he could kind of talk his way out of anything.
Called robbing Peter to pay Paul.
And just thought he could, eventually, the big payoff would come, or I don't know what his thoughts were, but he promoted it was going to be the new Coachella. I think what was the original like thought of it to when they wanted to do it was 6 months? Is that right? Maybe something like that.
Well, I know it wasn't. They had no clue on time wise how to put one together, because apparently, from what I saw, it takes about a good 12 to 18 months of planning to put.
And that's a normal place that has the infrastructure.
Yes. Exactly, in and out and all that stuff. This is in the middle of Bahamas, in nowhere, basically. No infrastructure, and the marketing campaign, it centered around 2 effective steps, which was various celebrities. But we were talking about this: the influencers and the models, and they just posted an orange tile on Instagram. There you go. All at the same time promoting this, and that was the big deal by this. Everybody pushing this orange tile, which tells you about this great party where all the rich and influential can frolic, on the blue beaches and whatnot. They even got speaking of influencing, Kendall Jenner. I don't know how many, she probably got 100 million, and who knows? I
think she's $1 billion, dude.
Oh yeah, she is a billionaire. Yeah, but McFarland gave her $250,000 just to make one Instagram post promoting the Fyre Festival.
Yep.
So that's how out of whack this stuff is. It was
like what I said, promoting and marketing, they were second to none, man. I mean, they got the word out there to the people that had the big money, and promoted it, and people just saw, like you said, the blue waters and middle of the Bahamas, deserted almost island, and it sounds great. Absolutely. If I had the money, it'd probably suck me in too. But then you start to think about it, and one guy did. I remember one guy, he kind of started, following a little bit, started thinking logistically, this isn't possible. And he posted up, he had a social media account called Fyre Fraud.
Right.
And he was constantly kind of calling them out on, hey, this isn't going to happen, guys. You might want to backtrack. And even right from the beginning, the island that they show was formerly Pablo Escobar was his island.
Yeah.
And so I know they spoke of it in there, but anyway, they got access to that, and the owners or whatever at the time said you can have access, but do not push the fact that this was Pablo Escobar. Do not let that out that this was Pablo Escobar's. And it's like the first thing they do. Come party at Pablo Escobar's island.
Oh boy.
So they got booted out, and then they got and they got put to an island called was it Great Exuma? Great Exuma.
Right. Which was nowhere near what they were expecting.
And at the time that they wanted to have the concerts was in April, and it was during when they had their it was the Great Exuma Regatta, which was their Super Bowl and World Series and everything all put together. They said the population of the island doubles. So, all these villas and everything that he thought he was going to be able to get, they're not going to be available, dude. This stuff's been planned out for longer than he's been trying to plan it. And he was kind of SOL on that. But through the whole time, he was just under the impression he could pull it off constantly. He could just pull it off, man.
Somehow it was going to work.
Yeah.
Somehow. But it didn't, and people started showing up, and they're showing up, and there's still trucks and tractors running around trying to get things set up. They used a bunch of locals.
Yeah.
Who are, working day and night, but they set it up in about 8 weeks. They set up this festival in 8 weeks when, like we just discussed, you need 12 to 18 months and that's with a place with facilities and roads and whatnot. And this had nothing. And they ended up with, the people were promised luxury accommodations. And boy, what a scam that turned out to be. You can see the picture here. These were luxury accommodations. These are FEMA tents. They put up a whole bunch of FEMA tents, and supposedly they had a bunch of suites in the town rented out and ready to go. But what happened there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. They lost the box of keys. Supposedly, a box of keys was nobody knows anything. This is all from Billy McFarland.
Mm-hmm.
You see him being interviewed and kind of about the whole thing. And that's his answer to it. It was we had a box of keys that was gone missing. Nobody knows anything about this box of keys except for him saying that. So.
So obviously there were no suites rented into town. There's no way. And so all these rich, entitled folk head on out to the island, and basically a lot of them figured out right out of the gate, this is trouble, they tried to hightail their ass right out of there immediately, and it turned out to be a total freaking disaster. Their gourmet meals. I wish I had a picture of their gourmet meals that they paid thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of dollars were cheese sandwiches. That was their gourmet meal. I mean, it was such a train wreck. And
to back up a little bit, while they were putting this together, and Billy McFarland was running out of money. I mean, he just didn't even have money to get it anywhere. And like I said, they're trying to get caterers. They're trying to get everything. Oh gosh, let me backtrack one more time. There's a story where they got the water is sitting at customs. They have, I don't know how many, bottles of water coming, $1 million bottles of water or whatever.
All right.
And they're at customs, and they have to kind of, grease the locals' palms to get the customs in there. So he sends a guy, the event manager, a guy named Andy King, who happened to be gay, to go and perform oral sex on the customs agent to get the stuff released. Yeah.
Did he get released?
He's like freaking out. And he's like, do you really want to do whatever you got to do, man? And he said he went there prepared to, to do that. And they didn't have to. And they released the water and stuff.
Oh, my God.
But he was so in debt and so many obstacles. So he's trying to get more money. So they put it out to everybody that bought a ticket now, put money on your Fyre wristband. So first of all, this is supposed to be an all-inclusive event. But now he's trying to think of other add-ons to get more money. So he's reaching out to everybody. Oh, but don't forget to put money on your wristbands. The average is $3,000. If you want to do certain add-ons, you'll want to put more. So he's encouraging everybody just so he can get
more money
he can get some money
to pay Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
and that's just all this guy was about, constantly doing that, and it just constantly snowballed and just.
Oh man. Yeah. Tickets. Day tickets were sold from $500 to $1,500, and the VIP packages, which was
up to $250,000,
airfare and quote luxury tent accommodations, were sold up to $12,000. But that I've seen $100,000 packages. So
I saw one. They said it was a $250,000 package.
Oh yeah, so I saw that.
I can't imagine what I was involved in that with. In the meantime, they have nothing. The caterers back out, and they end up just feeding everyone. So everybody gets there, start at 5 a.m. Well, even a week before it was to start, they had basically still had nothing.
It's
So like I said,
amazing.
they had the FEMA tents, and then the night before, it was a typhoon rain, just
Yes.
pours down and just destroys everything.
Oh,
So
that
now
was
at 5
horrible.
a.m., planes are starting to land. They got nowhere to put these people, so they put them on a school bus and bus them off to this local kind of bar resort kind of area. And the owner of that had no preparation for this whatsoever. Here comes I don't know how many hundreds of people, and she was told just serve them, and because this was all inclusive to these people, remember?
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
not going to be paying anything. So Billy told her, just take care of everything and we'll pay you later. She
Oh,
never got paid. She never got paid. The locals, these guys are working 18-hour days to try to make this happen. They never got paid. He just like screwed everybody, man.
that bar owner though, they did start a GoFundMe, and she got her
Right.
funds back.
Yeah. Her
What
name
she
was
put out.
Marion Roll. I just remember because she looks like Esther Roll, the mom from Good Times. But
Ah,
Marion Roll was and also like a David Ortiz, former Red Sox player. But anyway,
man,
look up the
unreal.
pictures, you'll see what I'm talking about. So anyway, so yeah, they put up a GoFundMe to kind of get and they've been taken care of, fortunately. But he didn't take care of them. The tickets were never refunded. None of it. It was just
A lot
just
of
a nightmare from the
lawsuits.
get-go.
An awful lot of lawsuits. And of course, Blink 182 was supposed to be the headliner.
Yeah.
And oh no, as soon as they got wind of what was happening, they hightailed their ass on out of there. So I can't blame them at all. What a train wreck. Jeez.
Yeah, they were the first to bow out, and then it just kind of started, everybody started, bowing out.
Oh yeah. McFarland says there was at least 250 of the luxury villas, but he and his team lost the keys. And what a really shyster. What a shyster. Jeez. And let me see. Instead of musical performances, there was, as one attendee described, a gravel parking lot and what sounded like somebody's iPod shuffle plugged into the main stage. Oh boy, what a train wreck from beginning to end. Well, that serves you right.
But just his whole attitude about it and everything, it was just, through the whole thing, it was just like, no big deal. There was at one point where his top advisors or whatever, his guys close to him were telling him, dude, we got to bail out of this, man. We can't get 5,000 people on this island with no way off, with no food, no water, no nothing. And he just, at least they'll get to see your smiling face. Okay, and he would go jet skiing. It was just like,
well, look at
dude.
this little tidbit. Even after failing spectacularly and facing lawsuits left, right, and center, the Fyre folks actually threatened legal action against the attendees. Why? For tweeting negative things about the festival. Are you kidding me? These people are insane. That's insanity. What festival? What? Yeah, there was no festival, so they can tweet whatever the hell they want.
Oh my God. That's
McFarland said he'd booked Drake. That was a complete lie. I mean, my gosh, it's just unbelievable.
Oh yeah, just through the whole thing, he was always lying to investors. He said he had like 2 million in Facebook stock, and he had like $1,000. He had like a fake spreadsheet of what he was paying out to the bands. All kinds of just everything about this guy was phony and fake and illegitimate, man. It's just you may remember, they had the picture going around where it was just the cheese sandwich. Like, here we are, here they're.
Well, apparently that was fed to mostly the workers, but the attendees didn't get much better. And then of course the workers that didn't get paid. So fearing for their safety, the organizers claimed they fled the island to avoid violent retribution from these unpaid locals. Andy King describes having to hide behind a urinal and then duck into a car to make his escape. So yeah, what a boy. They're lucky they got out of there with their themselves intact at this point.
But in the meantime, the influencers got these, nice villas and everything. So they're showing the rest of the world on social media what a great time it is. Hey, look at us. We got our villa. We're here at the Fyre Festival. So It just goes to show you. It just goes to show you how, not to be that old time geezer that likes to, down on millennials, but it's kind of how easily they are fooled and how easily they are, taken advantage of, but just by saying, hey, you're going to miss out if you don't make this great event and, pay out the ass to do it. And, even though, there's like the one guy that he put the 2 and 2 together and early on was like, there's no way this is happening. It's logistically impossible. But,
yeah, it's this guy's horrible. He got slammed with a $100 million class action suit, and when he was out on bail, he started doing the same crap. He started pulling the same crap again. Jeez, oh,
yeah,
man.
he started called NYC VIP, and he used the mailing list of the Fyre Festival attendees. He used that same mailing list to try to take advantage of these people again. And he was telling me I could get tickets to, hard to get tickets to things that you can't get a ticket for, like the Met Gala or whatever, things like that. You in award shows and things like that, you cannot get a ticket for. It's invitation only. But he's telling people, selling tickets that don't exist. And this is while he's out on bail, man. I mean, this guy was a scammer to the core, man.
Unbelievable.
To the core.
Yeah, and he was charged with fraud. Finally, after all this, and he pled guilty to defrauding investors and ticket sellers of over $26 million.
Yeah.
And in June of 2018, he got 6 years in jail. And I hope he has to pay some of that back. My God.
He's supposed to. Yeah. He'll never see that 26 million.
Oh boy. And here we go. Kendall Jenner and company are facing possible subpoenas for financial information and demands to return the money they were paid for promoting this big fat mess. More than 5.2 million was paid out to multiple recipients. So oh boy, what a just a total train wreck. And
they show in the documentary where they were sued as well. But I think Kendall Jenner, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say she had to pay back like 70,000 or something, which is a fraction of what she got paid for. Yeah.
Yeah, so, jump change for her. Jeez, unbelievable. But Ja Rule, he skated clean. A judge said, no, this wasn't you. You were the paid celebrity, but this wasn't his making. So Ja Rule got out of all the lawsuits and whatnot.
Yeah, he was on social media instantly. Not my fault. He fooled me too. I don't, So
yeah. So there's your Fyre Festival. Total disaster, total train wreck. And it just shows what happens when enough people are gullible, because
exactly
some folks are real shysters. They're real good at talking and claiming this and claiming that. You really have to be careful in this day and age. It's just insane.
Like I said, just preying on those folks that are desperate to be accepted and seen and whatever. And beware of shiny things.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been another great one, Doc. I'm all burned out, man. A lot of talking. But another great show. And we've got a whole bunch of more news that we didn't even get to that we can expound on next RnRGzrs show. So it's been a great one, man. Thanks a lot for joining me, Doc, and we'll see you next time, eh?
Absolutely. And thanks everybody for joining us. Podcast is going well. Really enjoy just kind of putting us on and driving around and doing things in the garage and whatnot. So hope to see everybody next week. And until then, have a great rock and roll filled week.
Bye.